Perfect. So you're nice and comfortable? Choker. We could just move it up, move it down, right? It's no problem. So we've already pulled the arm open, we've stretched, we've sat here, we've cross-fibered the paraspinals, we've opened up. I can feel, this is one of the first bodies I felt today that I feel like I could actually get my fingers underneath the scapula here. So that's one thing that when you guys are in that last move, you know, you feel free that if your client has enough space here, feel free to open them up, right? I couldn't really show that. Javier's been working hard and he wasn't quite ready for that. Maybe tomorrow though, we'll be able to get in there, right? So we've already done all this great work. And I see you guys, I've seen multiple ones of you guys coming in and getting ready to start applying pressure, and that's where we're going next. So with one arm, you're gonna go ahead and give some length here, right? We're gonna open up this area, and you guys feel free, if you need to come around to see, feel free to. So I'm first gonna give a forearm over here into the traps, right? Kind of near the levator. We're gonna go ahead and give you some length. Let me know if this is, and actually you see how her face is turned up? I'm gonna kind of just give myself a little more space, right? Another thing I do wanna point out before I get going, if your client's head is kind of craned up, right, which we're not, we're actually in a really good place here, that is something you'll wanna do, is you'll wanna make sure that whatever you have giving them support underneath their head, make sure it's not cranking them up. So I'm gonna come in and give her a little space. I'm just gonna come in with my forearm into her traps, levator area. How's that feel? So when I'm first working with a client, I may just stay stagnant. Let her body kind of start to feel with what we're doing. Do you like it more towards the chromium process, more towards your neck?
Yeah, more towards my neck.
Towards the neck, perfect. Do you like this little jostle?
Yeah, jostle's cool.
So you can
Try the stagnant.
try the stagnant.
Yeah.
Perfect. You like the stagnant more? Yeah. Awesome. The stagnant seems to be a lot easier. You know, it goes either way. When clients are super tight, maybe they just want you to, hey, let me get a hold of this real quick. Let me start accepting this. But then after a while, you might want to add a little movement, a little stagnant. Making sure that as you are in this, you're protecting your back, right? If you need to come down a little lower, because our tables are low today, right? Just make sure you're protecting your body as you're working. And another thing to always keep in mind when we're bringing our forearm into their trap, their levator, just kind of sink in slowly, work with the breath, just like you do. And the same thing when you're pulling out, slowly come out with breath. Do you like it a little more towards the back? It all feels good, right? Robert tends to talk a lot more than I do when it comes to verbalizing with the clients. I've been training with them for 3 years, and it's still something that I'm working on to get out of that box. You know, we're trained to be quiet, sit there, you know. I tend to watch my client a lot, and I tend to talk to them still. But I'm always pushing myself to communicate more effectively with my client. You know, you can always gauge, does this person want to talk to me, or do they really just want to just come in and clonk out? And I tell them, you know, feel free to communicate as much and as little as you feel like today. Don't feel like you have to stay awake and communicate. If you want to knock out, knock out. I'm going to watch you. I'm going to see how your body is responding to my pressure and to what I'm doing, and then I'll assess from there. If I need to pull back, I'll pull back. Where her arm is, it does not matter. Totally fine that she plops down. Sometimes, say if we were using just your bolster, right, and your bolster is giving them support, sometimes maybe that's here and their arm is kind of holding on to it. That's nice. It feels really comfortable to have that. Does your hip feel fine here with this, where this is?
Yeah.
Cool. So we're coming in here.
She's using her whole body. That's the best part. She's not using her arms.
Mm-hmm. So after a while, you might start to get tired of my shoulder, right? Mm-hmm. Come in, see what's going on in here. No, it's totally fine. And you're gonna constantly have things with people in their necklace. I just don't push the necklace into their body. That never feels good, right? So I'm gonna come down, and now I'm gonna bring, so these two moves are very similar. We're obviously working the same general area, but we're just kind of coming in and addressing a different way. I'm now gonna use this part of my elbow here, right? I'm not gonna use the point, I'm gonna use this flat. And I'm just gonna sink into the back side, to the posterior side of her neck. I'm gonna make sure I don't smash your earring.
I want to see what you're using. Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, right in here?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just kind of giving myself space, right? And you always being careful of all the jewelry. And I'm just gonna sink in. Sometimes clients will have to take earrings off because you might be jabbing their earring in on the other side. And it's really hard to kind of see what I'm doing, but I'm sinking right back into this posterior neck.
Are you using the soft part of the arm?
Yeah, I'm using right in here.
Okay.
I've got some chubby arms, so it's hard to kind of see where we're at, but.
That nice fat part right before your elbow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that fat part.
How does that feel there?
Every
Is that
now
pressure
and then,
good?
You can use the pointy part, but be careful.
Do you like it when I go
Down there.
down towards your shoulder? So this is like literally, these two moves are the two best things for my neck unlocking. I've been in 2 car accidents, 2015, 2016, that just destroyed me. So whenever I go to Robert's, I'm like, Robert, need my neck, please. Put the elbow in my neck, you know, because these are the things that really, really help me. So for your clients that are coming in with locked necks, this looks like, you guys are gonna have your minds blown once you receive this. And I can't sometimes talk when I'm receiving. I'm like,
Have you guys had neck work in sideline before? And I ask sometimes because I lose reference.
never had an elbow in your neck? There you go. I don't know if you guys heard this, but she said this is fucking awesome.
Kristen Lumsden, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's your new
Let's see
tagline.
that.
Yeah.
Jesus, that worked.
Yeah, I can't wait for the comments on that one.
So depending on your client and what's going on, for some clients, if the body will just allow me to kind of glide, I won't even be trying to do a myofascial slide. It just happens, and that's fine. You know, it's. But for other clients, I feel there's a lot of tension. We're just holding a steady spot and slowly come out. We're deep. And go ahead and I'm going to come a little bit closer down. So I'm going to move her necklace back up. I'm going to come a little bit closer down in this area. That's fine. It's going to happen though all the time in practice.
Would you say you're pushing more down or kind of like up towards the neck?
It just it depends. We can shear.
You feel? Some more. Okay.
You want pressure up? Or
Yeah.
pressure down?
It's like, yes.
Okay, right
I got you.
there?
I got you.
Cool. Now I'm gonna come in
So
with,
it just depends on the person.
with a bigger tool.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Up or down.
Yeah, down feels a
Oh
little
my God.
for me.
And then a little
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
You ready?
And so I'm giving a little length here with my lower arm as I come in. You know, some clients are going to come in and their shoulders are touching their ears, right? So I have to come in and I'll be like, all right, we're going to get a little space. I'm coming in here, and you know, you just got to work with where you're at. So I'm going to come in. I'm a little lower now. I'm a little more towards that junction. How's that pressure? Good. Here. Here. Feel for her, there's tension there. Yeah, yeah.
And that's what we're gonna work on, is not using your shoulders push through your whole body. And you're using your forearm still, but it's your whole body, so you're not going to get
How's that
that
feeling there?
pinched nerve and stuff in your shoulders.
So, right, I was doing this in the beginning. I stopped because my shoulders were getting tired, right? That's a thing. So I came in, you know, I faced up table. I started working some points in her neck. Now I came back to this because I know that for her, she's got a lot of tension here. So I went ahead and I came back. And I almost am like hooking it. Do you see how I just kind of like grabbed it and I'm now sinking in? I'm sinking in towards her feet. Little jostle. With joy?
Yes.
She says she almost wants to cry. That's what I said.
Because I'm so happy. Because like I feel like when you go get massage, you like want this stuff worked on. It rarely ever gets worked on.
They save neck
It's so good.
10 minutes at the end, no matter what. Even if you say, my neck and shoulders are killing me, they'll do the shoulders all day. But when it comes to neck work, it's like you get a little bit of finger work in the end, and it really gets mostly looked over.
Yes.
So for these clients like myself or Robert, that we've had, you know, serious neck injuries, to come in and apply some pressure to this, we're like, oh my God, finally.
Yes.
Finally, you're coming into where I need it and you're giving me that. So I know this has been drawn out, right? We've been doing this for 2 hours, but when you're in a session, we're starting right with what they asked. They're feeling heard. They're like, oh man, I love her. She's the best. She's coming in. Javier's coming in and doing this right into my neck. And depending on what the client wants, you know, they like the jostle, they like static, go back and forth. But going back and forth, it's almost like riding the waves, right? You know, we compress, we stretch, we static, little jostle. It's like, it's the body, it allows it to kind of open up more. Where, you know, in the beginning we had to stay a little more static because it was too tight. Oh, I can't, little slower. All right, a little movement. It allows the body to kind of, oh, okay, it can start to open up. But it's happening in a more natural way, right?